Hi, my name is Abby and welcome to this video all about pod books. Now, what's a pod book, you ask? Well, I am very glad you asked. So, a pod book is, the P stands for pragmatic, so the different way we use language. So, for example, the word bus. So I might be saying, oh, I went to the bus stop, or oh, look, there's a bus. Or the bus had green wheels. What? So we use different words in different contexts. So pragmatics, organisation, so engineered vocabulary and navigation. So pod books are set up in particular ways to the organisation. Then D is for dynamic, so changing pages. And then display, so communication book, and it has a wide range of vocabulary. So pod books are set up differently, so there are different types of pod books. So we're going to have a look at some of the different types. So there's this one here. This is a A4 pod book. We also have half A4 pod books, and we have, so we've got smaller ones. We also have some bigger ones. This one is a full pod book. We can get smaller ones that have less vocabulary in them. And then there is also an app on the iPad too, which has pretty much all of this, okay? So you can access it on an iPad or you can access it here like this. So the iPad can be accessed by students that use eye gaze. So say the student had a physical disability and weren't able to move their hands to point to particular buttons and things like that. With the eye gaze, it tracks their eyes, and wherever they move their eyes on the screen, they can then move them and hold on particular symbols for a set period of time, and then it selects that symbol so they're able to indicate that particular thing or move to that particular page. So that's a little bit about the different types of pod books. So with a pod book, they were created by a lady called Gail Porter, and something that she has said, so a quote from her, is being able to say what I want to say to whomever I want to say it to, whenever I want to say it. So that was one of the purposes behind creating a pod book. It's not just about requesting things. It's not just about being able to use it with mum or being able to use it with my teacher at school. It's about creating something that can be used by anyone, with anyone, and being able to share whatever it is. So the pod book layout, okay? So these first pages here, so there's page 1A, which we are currently on here. They've got little tabs along the bottom here, which will help you navigate to different pages. Page 1A and page 1B, which is directly behind it. So I'm going to go turn the page, 1B. These here are the really quick communication pages. So I'm going to go back to page 1A. So you have your communication here. It's categorized here. So these are the things about like I, me, or you, and so you can work your way across it. So I might say I'm talking about you, and I'm wanting you to stop, or I'm wanting you to wait for me because I'm not finished, okay? Or they might be using this to say, oh, this activity is really boring. I'm wanting to finish, or I'm wanting some more. I love what's happening here. I'm wanting some more bubbles, or whatever it is that they're wanting to say they're wanting more of. Okay, so this have the symbols here, and then down the side here, this is your panel here. If you go onto a page accidentally, you can touch onto oops. So to be able to go in between different pages, you need to touch one of the items on this part here. So this panel's the same pretty much on all of the pages. This is really your navigation. So rather than just going into this book and randomly going, oh, let's have a look at this one. All right, there's particular ways to access it and work your way through it. So I'm wanting to go to more to say. So up the top here, it's got a little 2 on it. So then I go along here to page 2. Here, and I'm going to say, let's go somewhere. Yeah, let's go. And so I can have a look up here. There's 12. Okay, and we're going to go to places. And I'm saying, I want to go. I want to go to the movies. All right, and I want to go and see a particular movie. So then I might go and share what particular movie I'm wanting to see. So I'm going to go to categories. Okay, so categories is a great place to have a look at. This is pretty much a huge part of your vocabulary and how to get to the different pages. Now I'm wanting to watch a movie, and I need to tell you which movie I'm wanting to watch. I'm going to go to activities, and that is 11, so I'm going to 11 along the bottom here, 10, 11. And I'm going to go to TV, that's where they are, which is 27. Along the bottom here, 27. And as you get more familiar with the book, it becomes faster to get in between pages and move in between them. And I'm wanting to have a look at a particular program. Now, this is a generic book. If this was a particular student, they would have their list of shows. So it says list. And they'd have a list of their favourite TV shows or shows that they like or want to talk about on the back here, which they can access. Okay, so now I'm going to use this panel along the side here to get back, and I'm going to go back to page 1. If you do accidentally go onto the wrong page, you just press the oops button and you can go back to the previous page that you're on. So I'm going to go back to page 1. Okay. Now, something that's really cool about the PODD book, it has communication for all different purposes. So, say I do go to more to say here. Now, it has, rather than just requesting or wanting particular items, it has things like, I'm asking a question, so you can specify that. Or I have an idea, or I'd like to, or I want, so that is the requesting, but maybe I like this, and then it's got 4A, and then it's got different things here, so different like things. I think this is my favourite, okay? So then it has reasons why you might like that. I'm going to go back, page 1. And then to more to say. They might be saying, the student might be wanting to indicate that they're hurt or something's wrong. And so they might say, oh, something's wrong. And so then you go to page 5. You might say, I'm feeling sick. And what's that? Oh, feeling sick. I wonder what part of you is feeling sick. So it says, got a little 6 there. We'll go to the body. You might say that it's not on this page. Often if there's something that you can't see, it'll be on the next page. So you can go turn the page. It's my ear. Got a sore ear. Okay, and so that way the student is able to easily communicate what it is that in particular that is hurting. All right, going to go back to page 1. All right, so with a PODD book, how do you use it with a student? So a PODD book is used with a communication partner. So you as the communication partner with the student are moving in between the pages, okay? But the student is indicating what they're wanting on the particular page. So say I was working with a student that wasn't verbal but had their yes and no response. So they were able to indicate yes or no. So you might be using yes, no visual cards with them. Those ones on. Okay. And I was saying to them, all right, we have got 10 minutes free time before lunch, and I'm wondering if you can choose an activity for us. So using modelling, or if they're at the stage where they're able to navigate the book themselves, getting them to find the activity page, then that's great. But say we're at the modelling page, so I'm saying, I think you can choose to do something. Let's do something else. Let's go to 7 to categories. And let's choose an activity to do, okay? Now, I'm wondering if you want any of these things here. Okay. Now, say the student wasn't able to verbalise or wasn't able to point to particular symbols that are on the page, then the way you can use it is as an auditory pod. Okay. So what you do is you share what things are in the columns. So rather than having to read through every single thing that's on here, you can read through columns at a time. So you might say, okay, Joe, I'm wanting you to choose an activity. Is it something in the first column? Be like I, you, don't, or do, yes or no. Okay, and then you can hold it up. They might look to their left. Oh, yes, it is something in that first column. And then that's when you go, okay, is it I? Is it you? Is it not? Is it do? Okay, and then you'd ask yes or no individually for each of them. So is it I? Yes or no? And they say yes, they're looking towards yes. Okay, yes, I. And then you want something in the next column, want, see, read or listen, and they indicate yes. Oh, is it want? And they say yes. Okay, so I want. And then is it something in this next column, play, cuddle, rest, music? And they indicate no, it's not in that one. Okay. Is it something in this next column, something to eat or drink, a book, TV or a game? Yes or no, and they indicate yes, it is something in that column. Okay. Is it something to eat or drink? No. Is it a book? No. Is it a TV? No. Is it a game? Yes, they indicate yes. Ah, so you're wanting to play a game. Okay. Game is on 30. So we go across to 30. I wonder what game that you're wanting to play. And you might have a look at the list and then have a look at their list of games and what it is, particular games there that they're wanting to play. But it has vocabulary for all different types of activities. So say, for instance, we're just on the bubbles page at the moment. Oops, sorry, the Play-Doh page at the moment. So you can model these things with them. So you might say, oh, I'm wanting to make something with the cutters with the Play-Doh, or I'm wanting some more Play-Doh, or I'm wanting to finish Play-Doh because it's getting a bit boring now. So rather than them throwing the Play-Doh off the table or maybe eating the Play-Doh or something like that to try and get out of the activity, the student can be indicating that they're wanting to finish the Play-Doh. Okay. And so you can use the communication book in that way. So back to page 1. I would recommend spending some time familiarising yourself with the PODD book, having a go at finding particular pages, and then being able to navigate to them quite quickly. So thinking about what activities or context you might be using it in with the student, and then practicing getting to those pages and using them. But students are very forgiving, so if you don't get there straight away or it's taking a bit longer, that is okay too. So just some information about modelling and practice. So it is so important that we're modelling using this with the students as frequently as we can. So a typically developing child has been exposed to language for approximately 4,380 waking hours by the time they begin to speak at about 18 months of age. Now, if someone is using a different symbol set and only has exposure to it 2 times a week for 20 to 30 minutes each, it will take 84 years to have the same exposure with their symbols. So it is so vital that we are modelling this in different activities throughout the day, different contexts, so the students getting to know where particular things are and how they're able to communicate with others too. Okay, so activity ideas, ways to use the PODD book with students. Do you know what? Pretty much you would be communicating with a student as you would be with any other student, so a student that may be verbal, but you're just incorporating this as your words as opposed to verbal words, okay? So if you were doing an about me page, so maybe you're first meeting the student, and you've got your about me page, and you've got your different questions about them, you can use the PODD book same way. So all about me, let's have a look at the age. Okay, so have a look at the PODD book here, and we want to go to categories. So I've got more to say. Go to categories, and I'm going to go to descriptions, 24. Okay, and I'm going to go to numbers. All right, here's my numbers here. All right, your age, how old are you? So filling out this page, we're going to have a look at how old are you? I'm going to say, are you, one of these numbers in this first column, are you 1, 2, 3, or 4 years old? And they can indicate yes or no. And if they indicate no, okay. Are you 5, 6, 7, or 8 years old? Indicate yes or no. Oh, yes. Okay. Are you 5 years old? Yes or no? No, they're not. Are you 6 years old? Yes or no? And indicate yes. Oh, you're 6 years old. And so you just write down whatever they indicate. If they indicate the wrong age, that is okay. Then you write that down too. So you write down the age that they say. So, oh, do you think you're saying you're 6 years old? Oh, I think that you might be 8 years old, but thanks for telling me you're 6 years old. Like a student in your class, if they wrote down the wrong answer, it's really good information to have as to where they're at with their learning. So writing down whatever they tell you. So you can put that down there for their age. There's some other information on here. So you might like to find their favourite TV show. You can find that on here. Find their favourite animal. All of these things are in the categories. So go to categories. Go back here to 7. And we're going to go to animals, 21. See? How's easy as that? 21. Here's our animals. All right, and I'm going to say, is your favourite animal a pet? Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, so I'm going to turn the page. Just for your information, down the side, we've got farm animals, zoo animals, bugs, and water animals. So it's got all the different types, different categories. Oh, and then we've got our different animals here. So I might say, oh, is it in the first column? Is it a dog, cat, guinea pig, or rabbit? And they indicate yes. Oh, is it a dog? And they indicate yes. Like, oh, okay. Your favourite animal is a dog. And so then you record that on their All About Me page for them. Okay. So you can use it in that way as well. I'm going to go back to page 1. Another activity that can be good to use with a PODD book or a communication device are Mad Lib writing tasks. So they're writing activities which have got gaps in the particular type of writing. So this one here, I created this for a student who was 18 years old and loved fashion. And so we had a writing task for them to complete. So this was the literacy component of our lesson. So one day Sophie went shopping and I incorporated the student's name. She wanted to buy a new, so then we went to the page, go to categories, clothes. All right, she went to clothes. And we're going to turn the page. All right, and then it's got all different clothes there. And so then she could choose which particular piece of clothing she was wanting to buy. And then it says she went to the shop called. So then you can go under places and then find the particular shop. Sophie had her wallet and had to spend. So then we go to the number section. She can choose how much she had to spend. Sophie absolutely loved shopping. This was going to be fun. First, Sophie went in the car to the shopping centre. When she arrived at the shop, she quickly went to, and then you can find places to see if and then go to the objects was there. She was in luck. It was there. Sophie bought, and then go to the numbers page. How many of them? Sophie then went to, and then shop name. After that, she went back home. What an exciting day of shopping. And so then Sophie has had some choice in what she was writing as well. So there are a whole range of them on the internet that you can use with students. But pretty much, yeah, like I said, anything you'd be doing with someone else of that particular age or ability level, then it's just looking at how you can incorporate using this instead of verbal words or verbal language with that particular activity. It's got all the numbers in here that they can be referring to if you're asking them maths questions and things like that. So that's really useful. All right, that is everything about our pod book today. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.